Hello, everybody. Back by popular demand is Meet the Candidates on Let's Chat with Camila T. I am your host, Camila Turner, and I started this last election cycle because there were so many people running, and I was trying to think of a way to allow people to hear from different candidates. And I came up with the idea for this online show. So many people have been asking me the past couple of weeks, actually, the past couple of months, whether I was doing it for this election cycle. And I said, sure. So my first guest is attorney Janika White, and she is running for the position of City Council Super District 8, Position 2. Welcome, Janika.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you so much for doing this and making sure that we are getting our voters engaged and making sure that they're informed. We appreciate you for all that you do.
Thank you. So, first of all, tell us, where is City Council Super District 8? Where is it?
So it's basically the western part of the city. So most people that I'm learning since I've been on the campaign trail, a lot of people don't know that our city is broken up into 7 single districts. So if you live in the city, you have a single district city council representative. But our city is also split in half. And we have Super District 8 and Super District 9. And that's half the city on each side. And Super District 8 makes up North Memphis, Fraser, Downtown, Harbortown, South Memphis, Whitehaven, Westwood, Midtown, Orange Mound, Airport area, Parkway Village, Hickory Hill. I can't remember if I already said Glenview, Annisdale area, Roselle, Alcee Ball Road area. So all of that is Super District 8. It's about 300,000 citizens in Super District 8. So it's multiple in one. And so one thing that people need to know is that when they go and vote, you'll be voting for one single district representative, but you'll be picking 3 representatives for your super district.
Wow. Okay. So you're saying 300,000 Memphians are in Super District 8.
Correct.
And that's almost half of the city.
It is. It is. It is.
And so you're position 2. Now, what does that mean?
So because it's a super district has 3 positions. So you're going to be voting for Super District 8-1, Super District 8-2, Super District 8-3. If you're in Super District 9, you'll be voting for Super District 9-1, 2, and 3. So basically, a lot of people don't know, you don't have just one council representative. You have 4. You have 1 from your single district, and you have 3 representatives from your super district.
I see. Well, thanks for clarifying that. So what is your job as a city council member? What would you do?
So one of the biggest things that a city council person does is the budget. The city council votes on a budget every year as to how dollars will be allocated to what causes, how resources will go to different parts of the area, to different parts of the city. And so it's incumbent upon a city council person to make sure that they're aware of the needs and the aspirations of each neighborhood that he or she represents, to ensure that those dollars are being allocated in a way that is beneficial to and actually enhances the aspirations of a neighborhood. Another thing is that the city council is a legislative body, meaning that we make laws, or we will make laws, ordinances, resolutions. So it's important that, city council people are collaborative with citizens to make sure that the laws that they're passing actually, even though sometimes well-intended, to make sure that they actually serve the purpose necessary. Your city council person is city council person is an advocate for citizens in the community and a consensus builder.
Okay. And why do you feel like you are the most qualified person for this position?
Well, by profession, I practice law. I've been practicing law for 13 years. And like I just said, City Council is a legislative body. And I believe that one, just based on my experience with practicing law, of course, researching laws and understanding how they play out in our system, I believe that that would be a that'll be a great asset to our city council right now. The other thing is just also by my profession, I'm able to consensus build, able to create solutions to problems. That's what I do every day is look at a situation and say, okay, how can we fix this? Or how can we, meet somewhere in the middle? I think that's also important on any kind of legislative body because you sometimes have to work across the aisle, even though city council is considered a nonpartisan position. We still know that people have their own their own backgrounds, biases, and it's very important that we're able to work together to be able to create good solutions for the city of Memphis.
Excellent. Now, you talked a little bit about your profession. You're a lawyer. Tell us a little bit more about your educational background. Are you from Memphis? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I am. I'm born and raised in Memphis, Whitehaven / South Memphis, around the corner from Crystal Palace Skating Rink. Some people call it Westwood, Walker Homes. A lot of different names for that area. I went to Central High School, and after that, I graduated from UT Chattanooga undergrad and the University of Tennessee at Knoxville College of Law. I clerked for Chancellor Kenny Armstrong for a year, then Judge.
Uh-oh. Let's see. You went out. Let's see if we could get her back. Let's see. Okay, so we had a little technical difficulty right there, but you were talking about you clerked for Chancellor Armstrong.
Yeah, and then I clerked for Judge Bernice Donald on the federal court bench, district court, who recently retired from the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. Following that, I worked with Walter Bailey for 8 years, practicing civil and criminal law in state and federal court. Now I have my own practice, Janika White Law, that I opened this year.
And what's your area of practice?
I handle federal criminal law, personal injury, general civil litigation. I've been an advocate for the rights of tenants, living wage, fighting workers' compensation cases. So I've been a litigator for 13 years.
Wonderful. How can citizens become more involved? People who may not be moved to run for office necessarily, but they still want to be involved in what's going on in their community, in their city.
One big thing is attend city council meetings, develop small meetings within your neighborhood and your community so that you all are able to get on one accord about what the goals are for that community, so that you can present those to the city council. Because like I said, there's going to come a time where the city council has to decide on a budget and where funds will go. But if people are not communicating with their city council members or their representatives, then their needs go unknown and they often go unmet. Another thing is in terms of engagement, just continuously making sure that we are, you have a lot of faith-based organizations and nonprofits. So making sure that, if you are a part of those, that you do reach out to your city council person and report any issues or problems, even if you're not a part of a neighborhood association or some type of community group that goes before the city council.
Is there a way for people to know what's on the agenda for a particular meeting? Is it online? How can they access this information?
It is memphistn.gov, I believe, is the website. And once you go under the city council tab, it shows the date and times for meetings as well as the agenda. But that's one of the initiatives that I want to bring to the position. Is a lot of times we have younger people who have historically, by the statistics, not been involved in elections. So even though my super district consists of 300,000 people. I believe in the last election 4 years ago, we had a voter turnout for that super district of about 40,000 people.
Wow.
And so that's a very, very low turnout
Very low.
for the number of people that live in that super district. So what I would like to do is to not just around election time, but to make sure that we are engaging younger people and allowing them to understand how the city council works, what it is that that body does, and how it is that their voice can be heard and they can be impactful.
Excellent. What is your vision for the city of Memphis in the next 10, 20 years? Where do you see the city?
One of the biggest things is I want to see our city have hope again. Right now, there's this spirit of fear over the city, especially when we have a rise in crime, specifically a rise in crime as it pertains to our young people. And, everyone wants to say they have the solution for crime. But my hope is that we can develop some systems, some collaborations with one another so that we can have ongoing and continuous conversations about how we can actually make a change in the lives of our young people. But of course, that's going to start with us funding education for our young people. That's going to start with us making sure that our young people have resources and things to do. But it's also going to take us to figure out innovative ways to incentivize and really help recreate that family structure that we all know works. We hear a lot of times that poverty is a driving factor, and it absolutely is. But that's just one part of it. So we have a lot of things that we need to do better in terms of working together, communicating better, making sure that the people who are already doing the work, like the nonprofits and those faith-based organizations, are getting the resources that they need, but making sure that they know about each other so we're not duplicating efforts, and that we're not working in silos, because our problems won't be solved that way. We're going to have to be more collaborative, more innovative. And I just hope to see our city thriving again, a city where we feel safe again, and where we're looking out for one another again and working together to figure out how to make it a better city for all of us.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Please tell everybody when they can vote, where they can vote, and who they need to vote for City Council Super District 8, Position 2.
You all need to vote for Janika White, 8, Position 2. Early voting starts September 15th through September 30th. What you need to know is if you early vote, you can vote at any location. It does not have to be your assigned location. But if you wait until October 5th, which is election day, you will have to find your assigned voting location. You can follow me on Instagram, social media, Janika White Now, Janikawhitenow, and we'll keep you updated on. We'll be doing stories and making posts to make sure that we're telling people when early voting starts, making sure they know the early voting location. So we'll be making sure to put that information out there. And if you just want to know more about me, you can go to janikawhite.com. And you can also volunteer on that link at Ask for a Yard Sign, or you can DM me and ask me questions. What I want to do during this election is start building a base of engaged voters. So I'm not waiting until I win to be accessible. I'm accessible now. So if you want to reach out, you have ideas, some things you want to do, or you want to see us do, reach out to me. We're open to it.
Well, thank you so much for being my first guest on the reboot of Meet the Candidates. I think what you had to say was very, very informative. Thank you again. Thank you to everybody who's listening. Please share it with your friends and your family members, because it's really important that we know who we're voting for, who our leadership is. If we really want to see our city move forward, we have to be engaged. So thank you again to Attorney Janika White for joining me, and thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned because I plan to interview as many candidates as I can before October 5th. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you for having me.